Then we have the co-main event of the evening. This is a very quick turnaround for Dan Hooker. Now, obviously, the minute his last fight ended and the minute this fight begins is not a quick turnaround, right? This is what, 6 weeks, something like that. What is a quick turnaround, though, is how quickly they announced this fight. I don't even think it was a full 7 days from when Dan Hooker got mopped up by Arman Tsarukyan that they announced this was the fight. And it's a fun fight. It's an exciting fight. Right now, it's the co-main event. Does it stay that way? I don't know. But these two dudes are going to get after it. Dan Hooker, long, tall, rangy, a good striker, enormous amount of heart. He's sharp. He's technical. He can get sucked into firefights. His takedown defense is solid at 77%, but we just watched it absolutely do nothing for him in the Arman Tsarukyan fight. He is at the point of his career, though, now where he's fighting for fun. He's fighting for checks. He's not necessarily fighting for a title. And that's not an insult. I'm not saying he's fighting for checks like he's not going to come in here and try to win. I'm saying he knows he's nowhere near a title. So he's showing up. He's going to put on the best possible performance to make as much money as possible. And that's great for us, the fans. And he couldn't have a better dance partner. Benoit Saint-Denis is always down to get after it. He's a strong wrestler. He's got well-timed shots, a ton of pressure on top. He has 11 fights in the UFC. He has 24 takedowns. And that's very impressive considering 10 of those fights ended in under 2 rounds. 10 of them. When he gets you to the ground, he's got great pressure. He works for submissions. He's got a ton of power on the feet, and that makes him dangerous everywhere. But he can be hittable. He's all gas. He's no brakes. He has no quit in him whatsoever. And he just knocked out Beneil Dariush in about a half a second. Dan just pretty much got ran through in the Arman fight. But he didn't absorb a ton of damage. He didn't take a beating. He took a couple of shots. He was subbed. It wasn't a drag-him-out war. I expect him to be totally fine in this matchup, even though if it is kind of a quick turnaround. And he's been pretty funny in the build-up for this fight. He didn't talk about his skills. He didn't talk about how he's going to win. All he talked about is how tough he is, as Dan talked about himself, and that BSD will be shocked when he realizes that Dan has no regard for his own health or his own safety. And that sounds like somebody preparing to get the absolute pissed beat out of themselves. The good news is both of these guys are savages. We have seen both of them absorb and deliver generational beatings. Benoit Saint-Denis absorbed such a bad beating, they fired the referee that same night. They literally, after that fight, they're like, you were going to let him die. And the ref's like, what do you mean? And they said, you're fired. Get that. The guy lost his job on the spot because he did not stop the BSD fight. And BSD just took his beating, kept moving forward. Dan Hooker is cut from the same cloth. I expect a fun back and forth fight. I expect a bit of a war. I expect Benoit Saint-Denis to shoot some takedowns and win. That's it. He's going to win. I think the takedowns are going to be the difference here, obviously. Dan Hooker's got good takedown defense. But this isn't Gamrot. Where Gamrot's got better wrestling than BSD does, but there's no striking threat whatsoever. Not even a little bit. Where Benoit's got random power. He gets in your face. He throws a ton of punches. He never stops moving. He's not desperately shooting takedowns, but he is shooting takedowns. So I think somebody who can match Dan Hooker's toughness and mix in striking and grappling gets a win here. So he is going to be the pick